Welcome to episode uno, dos, tres of The Real Deal's The Blueprint with Professor Brody. We've been going development, we've been going construction. This week, the subject matter is so relevant, we're strictly going to talk about the development process. Now, we're going to bring back some math. Now, you probably haven't had math in quite a few years, but this math, I'm thinking this is grammar school, maybe it's junior high. When you're developing real estate, many people and many of the stakeholders in the industry will use different terms, right? But the point of real estate development is to solve for one specific variable. What is the most important variable that we're all solving for? And the reason that this variable is most important is because when you achieve it and go beyond it, a project is profitable. And that variable is net rentable or net sellable square feet. So I'm gonna take my little handy dandy board and we're gonna use this bad boy today. And the first thing that we wanna solve for is net square feet, okay? Net square feet. Now the problem is each stakeholder along the game. And what do I mean by stakeholders? Banks, brokers, architects, engineers, developers, builders are all using different variables or different units. So we want to make sure that we can translate down the line to the only one that matters, which is net square feet. So when we talk about our first unit, right, we're going to talk about the acquisition of real estate, right? Because the first thing we do in the development process is we look to acquire real estate. What is the language or what is the variable when we talk about, you hear it all the time, so-and-so paid $400 a foot for it. So-and-so paid $350 for a foot. Oh, I paid $200 for a foot. So in New York, the Department of Buildings, which is our, the number one arbiter of square foot and density, calls the density of a piece of land to develop floor area. Who is that important to? So number one is brokers, right? Brokers always say to you, I got this land at $250 a foot. I have land at $300 a foot. Important to developers. What am I paying for the land in which to solve for the net? When we talk about banks, what's your basis in the deal? They're talking about floor area. And floor area, which is so fantastic, is an actual definition. You can't fudge it, you can't change the number, you can't lower, you can't raise. It's a specific equation. Next, most important variable is gross building area. Gross building area is encompassing everything else about your building. What are some of the things that floor area is including that gross building area is included? And who are the stakeholders that actually care about gross building area? So number one, below grade, a cellar, a balcony, a roof deck, a rooftop, a bulkhead. These are all square footage that are not included in this calculation of floor area, but are relevant to your project. Who are the stakeholders that care about gross building area? The most important one, the builder. The builder does not build based on a Department of Buildings definition. A builder builds on gross buildable area. The concrete guy does not care if below the ground you can't charge or you can't sell. He still has to pour that concrete. The roofer still cares that he has to roof a certain amount of area. He doesn't care about your definition of floor area. So your contractors care about gross building area. And when we sell condos or we rent, you are not allowed to sell a balcony separate from a unit, so it's not included in the net square feet. Now, I don't want you to get everyone to freak out. There are valuations to that outdoor space when we're talking about when someone says to you, what did you pay per square foot? Or what are you paying per rent per square foot? They are not including the outdoor spaces in that calculation. So each of the stakeholders in the game are using different square footages, and it's your responsibility to find out and to solve for the net square feet. I want to show you a quick little example. I'll show you that a building could be built that has 100,000 square feet of floor area, okay? The floor area ratio, let's say, is 10, and the lot area is 10,000 square feet. So you can build 100,000 square feet, 10 times the 10,000 square feet. You're gonna build a cellar below grade. You got parking, maybe some recreational spaces. So that means that the building isn't 100,000 square feet. That's the floor area above grade, but you now have a cellar. This is how you build. We said 110,000, but you have to assume, what about balconies, elevators, hallways, bulkheads? There's so many more things that are included in construction that are not included in how you acquire real estate. So let's say you're actually 100,000 square feet. Maybe it's really you're building 125,000 square feet, okay? So if you took, so far we have 100,000 and 125,000. Now when we build the building and we complete it, we can't sell or rent the 100,000 square feet. You've got hallways like we were saying, you've got thickness of walls, you've got balconies that you can't sell, you've got a loss factor, we call it. There's a loss on floor area. So really on 100,000, you're probably selling 85,000 square feet. So look at the different variables. If we were to grade ourselves on a price per square foot on the 100,000, some of our costs would be high, some would be low. If we were to look at it on 125,000, we think that we could either rent or sell way more than we actually could. So the only thing that matters at the end of the day, and we keep reiterating it, is our net square feet. How you learn about each of these so that you can flow from the right denominator to the right denominator to the right denominator takes years of experience and or listening to the blueprint.